Hello, it's Liz Blake back again with day 14 of 30 days, where I'm talking for a few minutes each night on distinctive areas of entrepreneurship. It could be the way we distinguish ourselves from some of the market, some of the things what I stand for and stand against, and other areas. And one of those actually is leadership. Now, I do a lot of detailed work with this with corporate clients, and it's just awesome. That carries over into entrepreneurship and mentoring entrepreneurs just as much, and in fact, with even greater scope because you're really in control of everything that you do. So tonight, principled leadership. Now, there's been a lot of research work done, and 20 elements, key traits that have been identified that must be present and at healthy levels in every leader for you to be respected, admired, and in fact and followed, but in fact required of you. So the first seven are the real key ones, and that starts with truth. And I actually work with a tool that measures all this, and it's phenomenal the way we can use it. But truth, responsibility, accountability, so we all have a score in these areas, loyalty, self-awareness, vision, of course, and impression management. Now, it's very hard for me not to divert and define all these because these have amazing distinctions and they're incredible elements, but I'm just touching on them. Then there are 13. The other 13 come under the areas of self-management, relationship management, and task focus. And now your capacity to live up to your declared values with a model of integrity is what limits your potential or expands your scope. Our success is actually not to do with our intellect. Of course, it's involved. Our intellect is involved. Any aspect, benefit that we have or advantage, great feature we have is of course useful, but it's not the thing. There are other things that create the success, and this leadership area is something that as you go along in your entrepreneurship, you have to develop. You have to develop. And it's a very practical thing. It's not something you just learn in a book. You have to go out and do it and solve problems as you go, exercising yourself in these 20 elements. That might sound complicated, but it's just doing life well, and it's actually takes a lot of pressure off because in fact most of us are walking around at work or in our business with strain because we're actually not working in our values according to our declared values, and it's very liberating when we learn how to which areas and how to align ourselves actually with our values. It's very cool. But why principled leadership? Why principled as well? Well, how can you grow? And principled leadership is very, very important because it's not just the art of being a leader, but actually resting on principles that are universal, tried and true, that are very pro-human, pro-relationship, and that's so principled, and they're reliable. You can rely on them. People can rely on them. It's a bit like gravity is a physics principle, a rule, a law, and there's just an example, of course, but and so you can rely on it. If I step off, I'm going to go down. I can rely on it. And so these other principles. So learning how to work as a principled leader is really opens up life and success in your business and with your clients a lot more. So how can you grow or build relationships without solid principles? That there are principles that must undergird, underpin everything you do. Principles like truth. Yes, that was a trait of leadership too, but principles of truth, honor, dignity. There's quite a few, that are really reliable. Versus, and I'll pull this together very shortly, but by contrast, unprincipled leadership is rife. Unprincipled leadership is the easier way. It's the way where there may be, it might appear as harmony at work, but it's actually just a fight under the table. Everyone's quiet, but the fight is under the table. But there's a lot of internal pressure happening. But unprincipled leadership, that goes into unprincipled marketing, because you're leading people. That's everything we do has leadership involved. So that's to do with is my marketing principled or unprincipled? Are my conversations with my clients, with my prospects, or are I won't expand any further than that. So as an entrepreneur, there's so much freedom and ability and scope to develop in these areas which really empower us in life. And it lifts us and builds us as a person, as an individual, to an extraordinary capacity if we'll go along for the ride. So that was a long one tonight. I'm going to make them shorter again after this, but I thought it was time we spoke a little bit about principled leadership in entrepreneurship. That covers every part of your business, every part of my business, and it is it's the part we mustn't break. Thanks for joining me, and as I said, tomorrow we'll go much, much shorter again. Thanks.